box pops up, click got it. So it clears that out of the way. And I'm also spotlighting me.
Are you going to take your toy?
And then I'm going to mute. Were you asking me something, Janona?
No, sorry. I was asking Bruce if
Oh,
he was going to take the dog toys with him.
yeah. All right. So everyone's muted. Everyone's in a chair. You got your space around you. So again, we start scooting to the front edge of the chair and finding our zhong or central upright, the central upright. And what Tai Chi and Qigong is trying to get us to achieve, and I think this is very important for Parkinson's, is the central upright that isn't being held up with muscle tension. So we're trying to find this balance between structural integrity and then soft, relaxed, released, easy quality, or song, soft and supple, right? And key to that is appropriate effort to place chin slightly tucked, crown above head, perineum below. So we don't want to be slouched. We also don't want to be up and really holding our posture up. So there's this in Tai Chi, sometimes they say that they think people's posture is not as good because a lot of times people, especially yogis, they hold themselves up like this, but that's very straining to the back. So let there be this soft kind of round quality to your back, but feel this central upright as a very structurally integral, supportive piece. And it goes through you and through the chair and down to the root. So right now we're not really using our legs to hold us up. We kind of are a little bit, but mostly it's through the chair and through to the earth and support, right? So we get that support. So as you sit with your central upright, body somewhat relaxed, use the breath. Inhale through the nose, fill up, exhale out the nose or the mouth, empty. And we'll do this 15 times or so. So what you notice is that your central upright should stay intact and undisturbed, even as you go through the change of inhale all the way to full, a sort of buoyancy in the body. And then as you exhale, there's a sort of sinking, a releasing, a relaxing, but you don't want to let that be accompanied with loss of structural integrity. So keep the integrity even as you expand with inhale, buoyancy, stretching, opening, creating space, and then softening, melting, releasing, and yet your central upright remains intact. With every long breath you take, think addition by subtraction as well. So in terms of mental activity, nervous system agitation, muscular tension, you're trying to melt it, dissolve it, release it, soften it, and let it go through you. A few more breath cycles. And we'll go into our opening movement series, hands on thighs. Start by drawing the hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, lift the chest and lift the chin. So we create a little arch of the back. Then slide your hands forward, past the knees, drop the head and round the back. Slide your hands back, elbows back, open the chest area, lift the chin. Slide the hands forward, drop the head, round the back. 3 more. So again, we're trying to get a soft body, and then note that you don't have to tense the body up in order to use it, to move it. That's another realization of the Tai Chi practitioners is primary movement system can be hydraulics, liquid. So stay relaxed and go through all this little movement obstacle course that I'll put you through with that emphasis on soft, loosening, releasing, nervous system down-regulated, mind present in a settled sort of way. Last one here. And then settle to the middle. Now, same idea, rotations. Left hand forward, right hand comes back, elbow back, turn a little bit to the right. You don't have to get any certain distance. Come back through the middle and turn. So rather than forcing the body, just see how far can you create rotation, how much rotation in this hydraulic state, this relaxed, loose, easy state. The idea is the more you practice that soft, loose hydraulics, the more you can do with it. So first we got to do simple things, and then we try to do more complicated things. Then you can do very athletic things. One more to each side. Just getting gentle movement of all the parts. Also the brain connecting, like a network connection through the body. Settle to the middle. Arms dangle alongside you. Softly lean to the right. Left wrist floats up. Right hand almost like you're trying to touch the floor, but don't force it. And then back through middle. Left hand goes down. Lean the body right. Right wrist, lean the body left. Right wrist comes up. Lean. So again, we're getting lateral movement. We're also getting one thing going down while the other thing's going up. So the brain is having to manage that bit of complexity. But again, all this is being executed with soft, supple, loose, relaxed. Now pause here with left hand high. Turn sideways so you can see. Now the left hand's going to go out. So look at this circle, right? So I'm drawing a circle along the side of the body, and the unique pathway is here, coming up underneath, like you're going to try to tickle your armpit, right? And then going out over the top of that circle. So now as this hand goes down, this hand goes up underneath like you're trying to tickle that armpit, and then it goes over the top as the other. So this, again, we're going to do a standing version of this exercise in a moment, but just want to introduce the movement. This is called left-right wheel. And you notice it's not just the arms. There's a weight shift into one buttock, a weight shift into the other. There's a little movement of the spine, kind of a slithering movement, snake-like movement. Now reversing. So your high hand tucks underneath like you're trying to tickle that armpit. And as it goes down the backside, this arm swings out in front, and then it retracts and comes in under the armpit as this one swings out. So this is the reverse of the left-right wheel. Same thing, into one buttock, into the other. When we do the standing version, we'll be changing leg to leg, right? Which is, again, we're inducing movement of deep mechanics inside the body that are necessary for quality movement. But we're doing it with soft, loose. And then both arms down and rock a little bit forward. The arms swing a little forward. rock a little back, they swing back. So they're like pendulums swinging from this chest and shoulder area loose. Shoulder blades are loose, arm bones are loose. Arms are forward, they stay low, they go away from the body, around a circle and behind you a little bit, in close, and then swing. Again, the goal here is, can you do this without any tension? Can this be executed with just the softest quality through the whole body? The technical term, sung, soft and supple, as opposed to li, which is tension-based strength or clumsy strength. Now the hands rise up a little bit in front, stay relaxed and soft, go out to the side, slightly back behind, down behind, under, totally relaxed, rise a little, out to the side, down. Notice there's a little moment of closing here. The front body is closed. And then there's this induced opening through the chest, abdomen, torso. This is level 2 of this exercise. And then level 3, we're rising. We keep rising as we go over and back. And then come through. So again, we're closed, open. One more or two more. Notice also that my arms go quite a bit in front, but I don't try to yank them behind my body. This is about as far as our joints should go behind. But there's all this room out in front, not quite as much behind. Now, same, let's reverse the exercise and go back to level 1. So swing the arms back, they come around in front, but notice they stay low, back. Can you execute the movement with sung, not li? So even if your movement's a lot smaller, better to do that with the right quality of soft and supple. Let's go level 2, a little rise, floating over the top. Oh, notice there's a bit of an opening quality and then this closing quality. It acts like a pump. We're pumping lymphatic fluid. We're pumping the sort of muscle stagnation, nerve stagnation. Let's go level 3 here. Up, over, and way out in front, softly falling down through. Up, keep rising like a wave over the top. And again, make sure you let them swing somewhat behind. Find that way up, and then just let them go all the way. One more, level 3. And relax. Arms hanging. Now we go right shoulder shrug up, shoulder shrug, slide down. Left shoulder shrug up, softly down. Right? Key here is the rib cage isn't moving. A lot of times when I teach this, people go like this instead of this. So try to get really clear on that shoulder blade and arm bone movement. Now double, shrug them both, melt them both. The melt is the most important part. The shrug helps us get rid of any of that stagnation, tension, but that melt is where we really learn to let the body be soft, supple, and loose. Now, the shoulder circle. Forward, up, back, like you're cracking a walnut between your shoulder blades, down. So again, when those shoulders come around in front, you notice your chest kind of hollows. There's a closing, folding, up, and then there's this unfolding and opening, under, folding, unfolding. Let's reverse that now. So first, crack the walnut, lift, and then staying up as you roll those shoulders forward and let that everything settle and relax. So we're active, active, active. And then once we get to the front, it's this softening, releasing, letting go, melting. Shoulder blades go back, up, forward, 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 and then melty, 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 soft. Let's do 2 more. Looks good, everybody. And down. Now, bend both elbows, hands come up, and just do that a couple of times. The main point of this, a lot of times with the Parkinson's and even just regular anybody, we add extra to something that can be very simple. So this is a great example of just easy. The hand comes all the way up, all the way down, and it doesn't have to be extra. Now from here, out to the side and up. So with that same quality of nothing extra, just create that float open and then wrap around in front, touch those elbows together. So Todd, watch my elbows. See how, yeah, there you go, exactly. And notice how that really opens up the back, forces that back tissue to open. Then relax down, float out and up. And then down. And then around in front. Squeeze. There you go. Good. Down. Out and up. Down. Around and in. Next one in this little series. Elbows back, straight back. So you're closing and tightening up the back, opening this whole area. Elbows down, the hands naturally are up. Elbows forward, the hands naturally go over the shoulders, possibly elbows up. This is a really important one to try and open up if you can, this direction of movement. And then elbows forward, down, back. Down, forward. And eventually this can have that same feeling of effortless. If you open the pathways, if you get the tissue glue, the glued tissue to open, if the joints start to get their fluid hydraulics and lubrication, you can just slide through these movements. Now, elbows out, palms face the floor, one above, one below. Wrap around and give yourself a hug. Try to wrap and crawl the hands around the torso. And then release that and feel this sort of buoyant filling. Elbows go out to the sides, not back. And then the other above, other below. Wrap and give yourself a hug. Crawl the fingers around. And then relax and open. Wrap. And open. And wrap. And open. Elbows come down. 90-degree angle at the elbow joint, out through the fingertips. Turn palms down, up. Simple movement, but one that people often lose control over or lose awareness of, which is pronation and supination of the forearm, right? Then palms face up, hands going apart from each other. Notice, how do you create this shape? It's through the arm bone in the socket, rotating open, kind of like a door opening on a door hinge. Bring the hands back to neutral. And then the elbows go out, around, and forward as the hands come in towards the belly. That's internal rotation. And then relax that and external rotation. So same idea. We're doing, it's like an obstacle course. Can you execute this movement without Li or tension-based strength, can you soften everything and make the movement? And the answer is probably yes, you can, because the body's built to use hydraulics, yet we just don't train it. So that's what we're training. Now stay here, open. Left hand comes over the top, reach all the way across. So we're closing to this side. Once you're there, then you reverse, open from that side. Other hand over the rainbow, reach all the way across. Target practice, land palm on palm. Come back over the top. Same thing, hydraulics, loose, round movement. Doesn't mean sloppy. It just means soft. Soft, yet very precise. Very efficient. Not rushed. Now from here, let's do one more so we're even. Back to the middle. Now step your feet wider apart and find this space in between your legs. Arms are out to the side like this. Now the hands come up towards each other and cross. Turn the palms down and let the arms fall between the legs and separate. So in this position, you should be slightly folded, closed, arms are hanging. Cross the wrists again. Stay closed as you come up with the arms. And the arms, notice how my arms are out in front. They're straight, so I'm not back here. They're extended. And then open. And let them slide down. Up. Cross, and remember the arms are out in front. If I turn sideways, you see I'm out, I'm extended. I'm not locked, I'm just long. Turn the palms down, fall through that space, and let them separate. Cross, come up while still closed. Slide. A few more. Cross. Cross, up. As you learn the movement, can you then make sure you're using soft and supple? Again, just an obstacle course for using hydraulics. Not rushing, not cutting corners in the movement, so the movements are round, whole, and complete. Last one here, as you open, stay open, bring arms closer to each other. Now, wrists fold. Notice how my pinky is kind of leading the way. Under, back out. Rotating the palm, over the top, through, through, through. Reverse, over the top, rotating, rotating. Again, hydraulics, meaning eventually it feels loose, easy. You're not having to tense the body. In fact, you're out of the way. You're getting out of the way with every round. Out of the way, out of the way. Then hands, spread, gather them together. Spread, gather together. This acts like a sort of a pump for that stagnation in the hands. Open, gather, open. Now, soft claw, like a little tiger claw, and then follow that direction all the way to a soft cotton fist where there's a little bit of space. Rather than compressed fist, there's a little space. That's the Tai Chi fist. Open, soft tiger claw into a soft cotton fist. Open. Fist. Open. Now, thumb to pinky, other three fingers drop on top. That's the bird beak. Bend the wrist down. Bend the wrist up, spread, then bird beak. Back. Bird beak. Back. Bird beak. Back. Now, monkey paw, slightly tricky. This joint, that metatarsophalangeal joint, metacarpal phalangeal joint here. So pinky, ring, middle, and notice that I didn't tuck my fingers under here. So you want them straight, and then like chopsticks, the monkey paw, right? So now open, and so you'll go pinky, ring, middle, and drop and bend the wrist and release. And release. Again, all these things pump stagnation through, they help lubricate. They're using all the little muscles, they're moving all the little bones. The hands and feet are actually more complicated than most of us know. And so lack of using these interesting shapes allows this area to sort of get lack of lubrication. That's where arthritic carpal tunnel issues all can come from. Shake loose. Scoot back a little bit on the chair. Legs. Bring right knee up, drawing the heel in, and then set that foot down. Draw left knee up, drawing the heel in. And you don't need to do it with your hand. I'm just showing that there's the lift of thigh, and then there's also the pulling in of the leg, kind of loading up like you're getting ready to push. Back down. So that's in martial art, that's called chambering. So we're loading and then setting it down. Now, load, push away, reload, set it down. Other leg, load, push, reload, set it down. Load and push, reload, down. Load, push. Again, can this be done with softness, looseness? Now on this next one, just straighten from the knee joint, the leg out, point foot, flex foot. Invert, evert. The foot comes a little in, a little out. The leg doesn't move. The foot just does a little bit of a tilt, tilt, tilt. And then circle. In, around, and out. Reverse that circle. Set that foot down. Other leg. Point and flex. Invert, evert, that little tilt in and out. Circles. Other way, circle. And down. Scoot all the way forward again, so it's just your buttock bones on the chair. From this position, lift the left toes, turn on the left heel, and the knee points out, toes point out. Now leave the toes where they are, lift the heel. The heel goes out, the knee comes in. So now we're internally rotating this leg. Now the toe goes out, and we're externally rotating this whole leg, left leg. Then the heel goes out, we're internally rotating at the hip socket. And then finally, lift the toe, keep the toe lifted and open. All right, so you got your maximum open. Then walk it in. Internal, heel comes in, knee goes out. Toe comes in, knee comes in. Heel comes in, knee goes out. And then we're back to neutral. Let's do that again in a more flowing manner. Toe out, knee out. Heel out, knee in. Toe out, knee out. Heel out, knee in. And hold. And in. 2, 3, 4, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2. Other leg. So the key to these are the understanding of the ball and socket joint in the hip. So that's where we're turning from, and the leg goes along for the ride. Heel goes out, knee comes in. We're turning from this hip socket. Toe out, knee out. Heel out, knee in. Toe out and open. Then walk it in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Legs should be all the way together. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 2, 3. One more. And the other idea is that the pelvis is quietly sitting here and the leg is free. So when my leg's moving, my whole body is not stuck to my leg. That's the goal, is that the limbs start to feel freely, loosely related to the body rather than glued to the body. Now, both legs, 1, so knees out, toes out. Then heels out, knees in, that's 2. Toes out, knees out, and 3. That's about the maximum. And then we go in, 2, back, and out. Same idea, pelvis and spine and the rest of the body is quiet and relaxed and totally at ease with that central upright. And these legs are loose and free. Back. Now, legs neutral about hip distance, hands on your legs. Forward fold from the hips. Hinge. Now, turn on the palms of your hands so your elbows flare out and around. This is internal rotation of the arm bone. And this opens up the shoulders and middle back. Then sit back up to vertical, turning the arms to neutral. Lean back from the hips. So when I lean from the hips, I'm not craning my upper body. I'm sitting back from the hips, right? And then back to vertical. And then from the hips, fold, turn on those hands, get the elbows to point out or even around to the frontal loop. Sit up, turning the arms to neutral, leaning back. So the power of loose and free body moving from the correct junction. So really not much is happening anywhere except where the leg bones meet the hip socket, and yet we're creating this whole big change in our position. Now, same quality, step a little wider. As you begin to fold between the legs, dragon position in the arms, fingers are on the inside, elbows flared out. And this allows you to then drop also between the arms. And then sit upright. Turn the arms to neutral, lean back from the hips. Sit upright. As you lean forward, try to time it so you're turning those arms. And arriving. Dragon takes a bow. Sitting up, arms turn to neutral, leaning back. Sitting up, arms turning to neutral, take a bow. The dragon stirs the sea as you come up, arms on neutral, lean back. Now stay back as you tip to the right and slightly turn to the right. Then as you bow down, stay to the right, turn those arms to that dragon position. Now stay forward as you sweep across to the left. Stay to the left as you come back up, all the way back, and stay back as you go around to the right. The dragon stirs the sea with its tail. Round. So the primary mover, let's do one more in this direction. The primary movement spot is the pelvis and leg bone connection. But as you can feel probably, the whole spinal column is getting a little bit of a nice rotation. Let's reverse that to the left, forward, around. Stay to the right as you come up, back, around. To the left as you bow forward, sweep across. Up and around one more time. Just when done correctly, this is one of the most satisfying experiences for the brain, for all the joints, because they're finally getting to move in their whole round, circular, spiral-like way. Settle to the middle, legs back to neutral. Now, arms into a soft kind of crane beak / monkey paw hybrid, just something where the wrists are folded and the fingers are kind of gathered, but we don't want to force anything. So you want everything to stay long and free. Now, draw in. So this is like a spring loading in here, and then push forward all the way. Notice the hands staying folded this way. Draw in and back out. So again, the wrist stays folded like this, fingers stay like this the whole time, whether in or back out. Now stay out and go out, around, and in. Out, in. Out, and in. Now draw those hands straight back. Now from the in position, open, close. So you can really feel shoulder blades have to kind of slide towards each other to allow us to create this angle with the arms still drawn in. It's really the shoulder blades changing their position. Now, from this position, this open position, extend out, draw in. And a lot of times when I say draw in, people draw in and come all the way to here. Try not to. Try to stay in the open position and extend that space. Think of this kind of like an accordion. Out. So you have two accordions on either side. Out. Now let's complete the circle. So we go around, in, open, extend, around, in, open, extend, reverse, out, in, close, extend, open, retract, close, extend. One more. And release the arms. Head and neck, chin down. Chin middle, chin up. Down. And up. Down. Up. And head in the middle. Turn. Come back to middle. Turn. Some of the deepest muscles in the body, the ones closest to the structure, are these muscles that tie skull and spine and all the various vertebrae all the way down to the sacrum and tail. And so we have to open up and loosen up the outer body to really be able to freely move our deep structure head, neck, and spine. That's where we want to get to. Now come back to middle. Softly let the head fall. And let's just hold here for a little bit, feeling that left side of neck lengthen, loosen. And then back to middle, other side. Soft and loose. And then middle, soft and loose. Middle, soft and loose to the left. And then we're back to middle. And from here, arms hang. Slide your feet back just a bit. All right, so when it's time to stand up, this is the first thing you want to do. You just want to bring those feet a little more under you. And then you definitely don't want to tense up the body. So you stay super relaxed, fold from the hips. So as you fold from the hips, feel like you're pouring liquid water down through the legs to the earth. Now you're no longer using the chair. And so your legs are all that's required. You just push through the earth. And the whole time you retained this loose quality. Sitting down, same thing. First, you got to stick the booty back, arms and shoulders loose, hanging in front. Sink the butt. That's what makes your knees bend. Land and find your chair. And then we're back. So remember, as I said before, now we're using the chair to connect to the root. The first thing we got to do, and a lot of people skip this step, they just try to stand, is this pouring. So pour your weight out of the chair and into the legs. Then standing is no problem at all. And we're up. And then we're in our legs. We stay in our legs. We don't just kerplunk into the chair. We find the chair and then gracefully change where we're using the weight. One more. Pouring. Now, no sitting. Don't sit. Sink. And use this to get close to the earth. Fingers down near your shoes. Loose arms. Push and rise back up. So sliding the joints and tissue along each other. So the butt goes back. Arms are super loose, hanging. So a lot of times people are holding their arms back like this somehow. Let them go. Truly let them go. And then sink. And note that as you let them go, that opens your back. As you sit to a squat, you get this opening to all the vertebral joints, which is also where the meridians extend. It's like the beginning rivers come out of our central river. Same is true for the nervous system. So the butt goes back. And now as we're sinking, we're letting the back open in a circumferential way as well as a longitudinal way. And then we're back to standing. Great work. Tai Chi. So we're standing loose. Hands, soft wrists. We're going to float forward and up. And you're just, again, it's an obstacle course for hydraulics. Loose. And then sink elbows, sink wrists, hands slightly change, right? So the hands were like this on the way down. They change to be a little like that. And we're down. Paint the front wall with the back of the hands and then paint with the fingertips. Paint with the back of the hands, soft, loose. Also allow there to be open space through this sort of round area, and then sink. Now, as you finish this one, hands in front and low cradle. Open. Wings. Sink shoulders, elbows, wrists, hands. Softly scoop under. Open. Sink. Goal here being a subtle change. So here the arms are round, loose, and internally rotated. On the way down, they slightly externally rotate and the hands change. So we're creating this whip-like, fluid-like quality in the limbs with every round of this movement. One more. And this is nourishing, rejuvenating, softening, right? Now, wings. Turn your palms uppish, just at the elbow joint, fold. So over the top, right into this space here, fall through. Totally relax. Wings with even less activity and more of this soft and supple. Roll palms up, elbows bend, fall over top, sink. Wings. Roll, fold. We're traveling pathways, opening pathways. Wings. Stay here at the wings. Right palm turns uppish. As it comes over top, left hand sweeps underneath like a bird wing. And we've got top and bottom of a circle, right? Now, come to the middle of the circle. So one is rising, one is sinking. Go back to the top and bottom of that circle. Then go around the circle. And then left hand comes over the top, right hand underneath, top and bottom, come to the middle. So one has to rise, one has to sink, and then sink and rise. Around. Around. And so we're resisting the urge to cut across the circle to try to get to the destination. Go the long way. Long way. That de-starches the body, lengthens out glue, adhesion, tension. It also is very nourishing for the brain and nervous system to feel the full extent of your range. Full extent. And it's also calming and calibrating to the mind. To stay very present, very in the tissue. Now, both hands down. Bend both elbows, hands come up, turn palms to face forward, push. Hands wrap around the backside, draw. Turn hands, push. Wrap, draw. Push. Through the tips of the fingers, draw. Left hand, push. Left hand turns, wraps around the backside. Right hand turns palm forward. Then one draw, one push. Then work on this simultaneous, and then one draw, one push. So don't rush past this moment, this change. Change. This is inducing a turning of the waist, turning at the hips a little bit. And bring that other hand back, hands down. Put your left hand behind the back. Right hand is dipped into the water. Sweep across the leg. Let this bring your weight into your left leg and slightly rotate you that way. Then turn the palm, brush the knee, sweeping back across. This brings you into your right leg, turns you slightly right. Left and right. So these are technical terms. This sweep leg is one particular position, brush knee, another position. One more, sweep leg, brush knee. Now, You got your right hand over here to the right, turn the palm forward, now go around the far side of a circle that's laying in the water, and then come in close to your body, brush the knee. Swirl the stream. With each round, be loosening, addition by subtraction. So it's not a adding something new. The movements are loosening us up. Now with more buoyancy in the body, let the hand float up a little, and we grab the low jumping fish. The bear snatches low jumping fish, then brush knee, floats up a little, low jumping fish. Each time we're coming across, we go into that left leg, turn the waist that way, into the right leg, turn the waist that way. Now middle jumping fish, the hand rises up a little, come across chest height, fall through, cross, and brush. The higher jumping fish, so it goes a little bit above and drops down. And finally, brush knee, wing, roll, fold, push. Fall into the water, brush. Wing, roll, fold, and push. Into the water, brush. We're just kind of bypassing the joints. Can you execute this with only hydraulics? Can the body over time start to feel like one big liquid hole? Now, bring left hand out, right hand behind the back, sweep the leg, brush the knee. Stays down in the water, loose, and we want looseness here so that the arm swings across, but it doesn't throw off our central upright. And then brush knee, same thing. It's sweeping, but we're not stuck to it, losing our middle. It's a looseness, a freedom. Sweep, brush, sweep, brush. Now swirl the stream. That left hand goes around, in. Brush the knee. Let that arm swing out so that it comes around naturally. Yeah, so Todd, you can work on right here, letting yourself kind of finish that direction, letting it go out around, rotate so the palm faces forward. Yeah, good. So don't skip over that portion of the circle. So keep going, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. Yeah. Beautiful. Exactly right. And there's a meditative piece to that. It's staying present. Now, as you do that, let it also rise up a little. So now we're ready for the bear, snatching that low jumping fish, falls into the water and does brush knee, keeps going, floats up a little, and then comes across this lower portion. So below the sternum, below the rib cage. So kind of belly height. Then we do the middle jumping, which is let it float up to about chest height. Sweep. And these bear movements are just kind of simple, but they really induce the mechanics of change weight, turn, open up where you're stiff. Now the higher jumping fish, let that bear paw come over the top. Falls all the way down, loosen through, over the top, down and through. One more. Now, as this is coming down, as this is coming up, I'm sorry, wing, roll, find that path through where it just drops right into position, push. Brush, now open, find that way where it just easily bypasses any tension, comes through. Brush. Roll, fold, through. looser with each round, smoother with each round. Now, as the left hand comes down, right hand comes out, we've got one brush knee, one sweep leg, turn the hands, one brush knee, one sweep leg. Loose, loose. This will soon, as you loosen and get more buoyancy, it becomes the bear swirls the stream, because that hand that's coming across begins to want to float up, float out a little bit and travel around that circle. But make sure you're initially keeping it down, down. So you're really buying space. So Todd, you notice when you're going out, you're also coming up. Try to be able to do this without coming up. Stay down, but go away from your body. And that's, again, what's pulling out the starch. And then once you've got some buoyancy, then you let the hands rise a little bit, but not all the way. So it's belly height. The bear snatching that low jumping fish. Then the middle jumping fish, hand rises, but that other hand is always all the way down. So as the hand drops, it's all the way down. Always all the way down as the other one changes its height. And then we go high jumping fish. Yeah, just getting these mechanics of the body to function with ease. And brush knee and push. So now the arm that's floating up rolls and folds. Brush and push. Wing, roll, fold, brush and push. Now don't let the hand that's coming down win the race. Let it stay over on that side of the body till you're ready, and then it's together. Together. And golden rooster. So hands come down, shift your weight to your left leg, turn your right foot out about 5 degrees, 10 degrees, something comfortable. Step it a little bit behind you, just a small amount behind you. Shift your weight into that leg. So now you're in your right leg. Left foot empty, just take the toe out, touch, out in front, loose and light and empty. As you got that foot out there, bend the left elbow, fingers point to the sky. Right hand, like it's just resting, fingertips dipping a little bit into the water. So not completely loose, a little bit of awareness through that hand. Now bring your left foot back, heels touching, toes both turning out. Change the weight into your left leg, left hand comes down, right elbow bend, right hand points up, and right toe touches out in front. So we're 100, 0, and in this position. Bring that right foot back, heels touching, toes turned out, no body weight, nothing changes. Then change the weight, right hand's coming down, left hand moving up, and left toes float out. Bring that foot back, nothing changes, no body weight in it. Shift the weight, left hand down, right hand up, toe touches. Bring the foot back, no weight, shift, and the toe floats out. Golden rooster. Foot comes back, change. Now stay here for a moment. This foot empty. This is where if you had a little balance implement, you could use it, but try to lift the foot off the ground and put it back down lightly without disturbing central upright. Right? So again, if I have weight in my foot and I think it's empty and I try to lift it, the body's going to do something like this. So what you're looking for is you're so completely committed to one leg that this one is free. Golden rooster. Looks good. Now, put that foot down, change the weight, change the position. Toe is out. Wait until you're feeling good and empty in that leg, and then play with lift, lower, lift, lower. Another hydraulic obstacle course challenge. Can you be loose and execute this movement, right? Golden rooster. Now let's flow into this position if you can, or do the first variation with the toe touch. Shift, and as the left hand goes down, right hand and knee float up. Put the whole right foot down, nothing changes in the hands. Then as you shift, everything changes. Right hand down, left hand and knee up. Foot goes down, nothing changes. Shift, everything changes. Foot down, nothing changes. Shift, everything. So Janona, you notice you're not doing exactly this piece right here. Hands don't change when the foot goes down. Right? They stay here. Then when you shift, that's where everything happens. So the foot goes down, nothing changes. And then, ba. So in Tai Chi, the movements are less postures and more transformations or changes. So we're going from here, we put the foot down, and then we're working on the simultaneity challenge of everything together and arriving, boom. Foot down, wait for it, and then, and we're there. Good, both down, wings, roll, hold. Settle, 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 settle. Hands together, rub. Back of one hand, rub. Back of other hand. Take your healing hands onto the inguinal region on either side of the genital area there. Groin. Hip flexors, front of the hip where the thighs meet the hip, around to the sacrum, tailbone, up onto the lumbar, and then like you're going to sit in a chair, you stick your butt back, sink the butt, slide the hands down the outside of the legs, around and up the inside of the legs. And again, groin, hip flexors, sacrum, lumbar, and yang channels sitting the booty. Come around to the inside. Yin channels coming up to the navel. One more. Groin, hip flexors, sacrum, lumbar, and then yang, yin to the navel. And then up the outer, turn that arm palm up, down, turn the palm down, repeat, same arm, a few times. Same arm, a few times, and then we switch. And switch. And final time, shogun, wings, roll, over the top, settle, settle, settle. Here's the belly button, 1, 2, 3 breaths, long and smooth. And then have a seat in your chair. Make sure your chair is where you think it is before you sit. And any little questions, or anything like that? Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Otto.